Alright guys, so the arena season has finally ended and I think it's about time for me to update the PvP tier list because there's a lot of shifts that happen once Financier Cookie as well as the magic candies have been added. So this is going to be the updated version of the PvP tier list for mid-July. Of course, once the new update rolls in for the end of July probably, I will be updating it later on for August, but this time around I will be adding Oyster Cookie into the tier list that I forgot for the PvE tier list. If you guys didn't see that, then you guys can check it out with the pinned comment below on that video. However, let's talk about the PvP tier list. I've actually ended in the pure vanilla server at 644th place. So you know, there was a lot of grinding that happened. There was a lot of new changes that I had to make to the teams and things like that. So in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've saw as well as experienced throughout my pure vanilla server arena battles, as well as just keep in mind that this is going to be from my experience as well as opinion, as well as it may differ from some of the servers that you guys are playing, because I'm in pure vanilla server and you guys might be in Hollerberry as well as Dark Cow. So anyways, let's get into the actual PvP tier list. As you guys can see, this is going to be a part of our old tier list. Alright, however, I took out all the SS as well as S, and I put the new cookies as well as the buffed cookies on the bottom. Not all buff cookies are on the bottom because of the fact that, you know, I don't think there was any too significant buffs that happened, especially for like mango cookie and squid ink. They're still okay, but not the greatest. If anything, I'll move them up to A+ tier, but that will be it, only because, you know, they're very similar to how latte is, except for the fact that latte has that silence, whereas mango has the attack boost, as well as squid ink is just going to be a straight pure damage. As well as for the other ones, not too many difference, except for some of the things that I'm going to be moving up and down later on. But let's go on to the SS as well as the S ranks first. Alright, so I'm going to be actually putting the new and the buffed cookies up there first, and then we'll move on to the cookies that I've actually taken out from the previous tier list, and then we'll be putting it back into the tier list. Alright, so here we go guys. So first of all, starting off with purple yam. So purple yam is pretty darn good. Alright, so I have seen teams where you use purple yam. Purple yam's main trait is survivability and being able to knock back the team, as well as, I would say, being able to sustain himself and prevent the the death of your team. Alright, so I would say he is a pretty darn good cookie. I've seen him a lot inside of Grandmaster 3 as well as 2 as well. I've been attacked by a couple. I would say though, he is not very significant like Espresso as well as Vampire, and if you had the chance to, I would say go with Espresso or Vampire to make the magic candy rather than investing in purple yam. However, I am going to be putting him in the S quote-unquote danger zone. Okay, he's not like crazy, but he can be used. I think he really took the place of Madeline Cookie for the 4 tank comp. Now it's not really a speed comp though, it's going to be more of a self-sustain 4 tank comp, and I think with purple yam it actually made it a bit better because you don't need to deal with a lot of the self-sustain that was lacking in the speed comps. Alright, so because purple yam heals himself, there's the Monocle, there's Financier who also heals herself, as well as another ally and things like that. So we're gonna be putting purple yam's magic candy at S/danger zone. Alright, so of course he can obviously come down from there to A+ tier if he becomes irrelevant or anything like that. Moving on to Espresso, I would say Espresso no doubt right now is going to be a SS tier with the magic candy for the PvP. Not only does he have that extra damage, but he also has the injury debuff that he's going to cause to the enemy, as well as if you do +10 and so on his magic candy, then he is also going to be able to stun, and these cookies who are immune to stun are going to be taking extra damage. So Espresso no doubt right now is going to be one of the best cookies that you guys can use, especially if you guys can create the magic candy for him. And then moving on, Vampire as well is going to be an SS tier for the actual PvP tier list as well. It's been a while since Vampire has risen all the way to the top, because back in the days when he didn't have his magic candy, he was not able to deal any damage to the enemies because he didn't have the bleed debuff, he didn't have the 100% crit, as well as he wasn't able to attack more than one enemy. However, now that he is able to target up to 3 enemies with his auto attack, he's able to do 100% crit when the enemy has a bleeding debuff, as well as causing that bleeding debuff which causes damage over time. He actually became a very strong cookie for the arena. So I would say right now he will be an SS tier, and pretty much I would say like 95% of the teams that I versed inside of Masters as well as Grandmasters did have Vampire Cookie as their defense team. And then moving on to Oyster Cookie, I would say Oyster Cookie is going to be an SS to an S tier right now. I'll put her at S tier just because right now there's better team right now without Oyster. However, Oyster before, I would say the Financier Cookie as well as the Magic Candy came out would be an SS tier, but she kind of, you know, fell down just a little bit. I wouldn't even say she's like, you know, bad or anything. She just is a bit harder to utilize inside of your team, especially just because now there are just so many different combinations of cookies right now for the team. But I would say she is an S tier. It's because she'll be able to give a crit boost as well as a crit damage boost to your cookies 100% of your time. Alright, so she's gonna have it up for 100% for 17 seconds, which is her entire cooldown. So she definitely is going to be an amazing cookie, especially if you guys are using her for the summoner comp, which is still relevant, as well as you know, any of the crit comps or any nuking comps that you can use with Caramel Arrow. I would say Oyster Cookie is still not bad. It's definitely at least going to be holding that S tier rank, but I would say, you know, I saw less of her being used inside of the Grandmasters as well as Masters as you know, Financier was introduced into the game. Next one is going to be Financier. Financier is no doubt going to be an SS tier, alright? So the reason why Financier is an SS tier is because of this. Financier not only is going to be, you know, sustaining herself with the shield, but she's also going to be giving the exact same buff to the cookie with the highest attack. In majority of the cases right now, what I've seen is Espresso Cookie as well as Vampire as well as Clotted Cream. Alright, so those three has been like amazing with Financier, and also just because of the sustain as well as the tankiness that she has, I have seen a lot of defense team drag out the battle all the way to the timeout, which really prevented any trophy from being lost. Alright, so I would say like Financier Cookie really has a great spot inside of the arena right now. She definitely has a place where she can replace Wallberry as well as Dark Cacao if you guys are missing them, and you know, definitely she is going to be having an amazing synergy with Espresso, Vampire as well as Clotted Cream, which are going to be pretty much SS tier right now. Alright, so I will be putting Financier Cookie as a SS tier. Damage resist, crit resist, attack boost, healing, extra shield. She really has it all for that actual role of a defense. Alright, so she is going to be an SS tier. And right now, Red Velvet, I would say, is going to be around S danger, if not A plus right now. I mean, he was definitely way down here around like B tier, but because of his 15-second cooldown, I would say he's probably going to be like an A plus tier now. There was that team, you know, with the summoner comp where you utilize Red Velvet, but now that there's just so much more sustain and things like that happening with the comps, I would say Red Velvet just had that little bit of shine at the beginning of that, you know, buff, but once Financier Cookie came out, it kind of like, you know, it kind of died down. So I would put Red Velvet right now. I would say it's a reasonable place to put it at A plus tier rather than S danger, just because you know, it does require a lot for him to actually be in the team. He not only does he need the damage resist, but he also needs to have very high cooldown in order to utilize his stun to the maximum potential. So I would say A plus tier is probably a better place to put Red Velvet for now, with the new buff that he got, his cooldown being reduced all the way down to 15 seconds from 20 seconds. Alright, now let me go quickly over to the SS tier as well as S tier, and then I'll be shifting some of the cookies up and down once again. Caramel Arrow right now, no doubt SS tier, very good cookie to counter any of the comps that are really being used. You know, the double tank comp, triple tank comps, Caramel Arrow can defeat it all. In my opinion, SS tier is going to be definitely the place for Caramel Arrow for the arena still. Clotted Cream is going to be SS tier as well, a very good damage dealer. We'll be able to get rid of one of the tanks for you guys for a certain amount of time, as well as deal true damage. And on top of that, being combined with Financier Cookie, I would say Clotted Cream Cookie definitely is very good, and also works great against summoner comps as well, because of the fact that he's just able to do so much area damage with his skill. Cotton, without a doubt, SS tier once again, just because, you know, she's Cotton, right? She still has one of the best skills inside of the game, being able to stun, damage, you know, heal, summon units, and things like that. Cotton is going to be an SS tier. Dark Cacao, SS tier as well. The injury, the damage, the defense reduction, and all the things that he's able to do with his massive strike is going to put him at an SS tier. Crunchy Chip, I would say, is going to be at an S tier still. As the summoner comps slowly come down, I would say he's going to come down to the S danger zone. But right now, still, summoner comps are still relevant and is still going strong. It is going to be a great counter to certain comps right now, using Sorbet as well as someone like Frost Queen and Clotted Cream inside. I would say the best take for a summoner comp is no doubt going to be Crunchy Chip, and Crunchy Chip is going to be dealing the most damage in majority of the cases. So Crunchy Chip going to S tier. Eclair, without a doubt, still going to be SS tier. Works great with someone like someone like Caramel Arrow. Works great with someone like actually Vampire as well as Espresso, being able to nuke one of the cookies and just kind of completely get rid of them inside of the battle relatively quickly. So I would say Claire still going to be that unique cookie with the only weakness debuff skill, so it's going to be an SS tier. Frost Queen right now, I would say, is going to come back up to an SS tier. Frost Queen has actually done a relatively good job, actually almost extremely good job at preventing cookies from casting their spell on time, because of the fact that her being able to freeze the cookies actually stops their cooldown from actually being reduced. So when you get stunned, your cooldown still ticks. However, with Frost Queen, it completely freezes and will actually mess up some of the timing that you have actually set against some of the cookies. That's why Frost Queen has actually made it back into the arena more than the others, and I would say Frost Queen is going to be worth that SS tier rank for right now. And then Herb is going to be at S tier. Herb is also a great healer right now. I would say, Herb is just doing a very good job in being able to get rid of debuffs and massive healing over time and things like that, as long as you're able to keep him alive. So Herb is going to be S tier. Kumio, I would say, is going to be more towards the S danger zone right now. The one-shot comps as well as the Ginger Brave Kumio scam comp is pretty much the era is kind of dying down. All right, it's not completely over. You can still use it in lower levels as well as lower ranks. However, I would say in the Grandmaster as well as Masters, in some of the servers, especially pure vanilla, I would say it's just not going to work out as well, and I would say it's not going to be as strong as it used to be, just because there's just so many different cookies that's just gonna have so much damage resist, and Kumio is just not going to have the power with the combo. Of course, it can always come back, but I would say right now it's just gonna be at S danger zone. Parfait is gonna be at S tier. Pomegranate is going to be at S tier. Pumpkin Pie is also going to be at S tier. So these three have been holding their places relatively well. The debuff resist from Parfait is also amazing. The 30% attack buff from Pomegranate is amazing, as well as Pumpkin Pie just being able to summon that Pompon with the summon unit is going to be amazing as well. So all three of them are going to still be at S tier, and then Sea Fairy is still going to be at SS tier, just being able to do a massive amount of damage. Being comboed with Frost Queen and Sea Fairy is going to be one of the best combos still that you guys can do if you guys were able to pull both of them together. And Sea Fairy just being able to have no limitation to the cast range, and just almost having like a 100% landing on her skill, and relatively is really fast. I would say she is still going to be at an SS tier, and just the damage is amazing from Sea Fairy. And the next one is going to be Sorbet. Sorbet has also shined greatly during the arena season, especially at the end, because of the fact that there's just so many comps using Financier, Wallberry together, or even the triple comp, or even Financier, Dark Cow together, or just any comps that really has a double tank. Being able to use Sorbet to deal with them just made your life so much easier. So I would say Sorbet, no doubt, right now is going to be at SS tier, and Wildberry, of course, is going to be at SS tier too. So Wildberry is one of the best tanks you guys can use as well, with the Mega Punch, stuns, and things like that. You just don't want to miss out on the opportunity of using Wallberry right now, where he's going relatively strong. Alright, now guys, moving some of the cookies down, I'm actually moving down Madeline, Lilac, as well as Minchoco and Snow Sugar down to A+ tier. And here's the reason why. The speed comp right now is very different from what we initially are used to. The Caramel Arrow as well as Wallberry are just like enough right now, as well as if you're using a 4 tank comp, is more than using the Enchanted Robe, is more of using the Monocle and self-sustain. So I would say right now, Madeline, the old speed comp members, they're still good. You guys can definitely use it and still can be strong against certain comps, but will just not be seen as much in the meta as of now. Alright, so I would say they're going to be moving down to A+ tier. And then moving up, I'm actually moving up Pure Vanilla to S tier. Because of the nuking damage of Espresso as well as Vampire, there's a lot of comps that actually use Pure Vanilla now, being able to heal them up right away. Even if his shield is a little bit irrelevant due to, you know, someone like Dark Cacao, he's still going to be amazing to keeping your cookies alive, because not only is his skill going to do a massive amount of healing, his auto attack is also going to be healing a lot as well. So I would say Pure Vanilla is coming back from being an S danger zone to an S zone. I would say probably Holberry is going to stay there for a while. The last one I'm going to make an adjustment for is going to be our Poison Mushroom as well as the Twizzly and Affogato. So all three of them are really strong right now. You know, in certain comps, you know, Twizzly, you saw the one-shot comp as well as Poison Mushroom. There's comps right now using Poison Mushroom to deal extra damage over time because of the fact that they did receive a buff. And Affogato, he is actually really good because he prevents some of the cookies from actually receiving the buff, because his curse prevents them from actually receiving buff, and also the debuff does get amplified. So right now, that's pretty much it. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, what you guys are experiencing right now inside of your server, as well as if there's any changes that you guys might want to make to the tier list. This is once again from the experience that I had reaching Grandmaster for the Pure Vanilla server. So of course, some of the meta as well as some of the teams that you guys see inside of Holberry as well as Dark Cacao may differ depending on your rank. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys found the video helpful. Check out my PvE tier list if you guys haven't done that already. Also check out any of the other videos that YouTube recommends in front of you guys right now. Anyways guys, I'll see you guys over there. Thanks for watching.